Welcome to The Infected.
Friends of The Infected, welcome to a very special episode of The Infected. This is the podcast that brings you goth, 80s, post-punk and all kinds of rock and alternative music that we love. We take you from high to low, we bring you from back to forth, we drop you up and we take you down. This is a show where everything is different every time you tune in, and it is different tonight because this show will not be like any of our other shows. Tonight we have Then Comes Silence, an entire band in this show for your listening pleasure. And first, to kick it off, we're going to listen to David Bowie with Rock and Roll Suicide.
Time takes a cigarette, puts it in your mouth. You pull on your finger, then another finger, then a cigarette. The water wall is calling, it lingers, then you forget. Oh, ho, 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 you're a rock and roll suicide. You're too old to lose it, too young to choose it. And the clock waits so patiently on your song. You walk past the cafe, but you don't eat when you've lived too long. Oh no, 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 you're a rock and roll suicide. Shift break the snarling as you stumble across the road. But the day breaks instead, so you hurry home. Don't let the sun blast your shadow. Don't let the milk float rob your mind. They're so natural, religiously unkind. Oh no, love, you're not alone. You're watching yourself, but you're too unfair. You got your head all tangled up, but if I can only make it there. Oh no, love, you're not alone. No matter what or who you've been, no matter when or where you've seen, all the knives seem to lacerate your brain. I've had my share, I'll help you with the pain. You're not alone. Just turn on with me, and you're not alone. Let's turn on and be not alone. Give me your hands, 'cause you're wonderful. Give me your hands, 'cause you're wonderful. Oh, give me your
So, interesting choice, by the way, David Bowie. Why this song and why David Bowie?
Okay, well, why not David Bowie? He is.
We were discussing a bit like what kind of music we usually listen to when we are out on the tour in the van and just traveling, and we listen to Bowie at least a couple of times every day in the van. So it's an artist all of us really like and enjoy. So it was. I think that's why we chose Bowie for this occasion.
Yeah, we eat David Bowie for breakfast, lunch, and dinner on tour.
So are you more focused to the older Bowie or also more recent stuff of him?
Me personally, I'm more into the older stuff, but of course I enjoy the later stuff as well. But I think maybe Matthias is more into that.
Yeah, I like the new stuff better.
Yeah.
Because I'm slightly younger than the rest of the band.
How old are you then?
So my favorites old enough to not answer the question.
Okay. Let's keep it at that. That's fine.
But I have kids, so
You're of legal drinking age, right?
exactly. But I like the older stuff. No, the later stuff, because I do like the older stuff too. But the later stuff speaks to me more.
Yeah.
I think come back to Station to Station a lot in the van. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's a great record.
Station to Station was a Brian Eno production, I think. It's having one brilliant guy like Bowie is great, but having him and Brian Eno together, that is producing some special results.
Yeah, but they were a great team. Visconti and Bowie and some other guys together. So I think they really they were a great match.
Is the singing style of David Bowie something that has influenced you in your way of singing because you listen to Bowie often? Do you think, or?
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. So this is a song called "Rock and Roll Suicide" that we've just played, and I was wondering, do we need to worry about you guys because you've picked this song?
You picked this song.
Well, I picked this song because I love it since the first time that I listened to it, but I had no idea of English at the time, so I don't really know what the lyrics are about. So what I like about the song is that it takes you like on the floor, and it takes you through like a emotional ride and leaves you in the top. So I think that music, the main purpose of music is to make people feel something, and this song makes me feel, and I hope everyone else, a lot. That's the reason.
Yeah,
That's a good one. I heard of a Scandinavian hitmaker. He's called Max Martin. Is he familiar in Sweden? Yeah. He once said that a great pop song should be felt when you hear it. So that's.
it's fun. It's funny he should say that because I don't really feel Max Martin's songs, but I guess some people do. Maybe.
Okay. But
Yeah,
there's some truth
I guess
in the
he's more of
words.
a philosopher than a music producer. To my taste, I don't know.
Yes.
This might be the first time ever that Max Martin has been called a philosopher.
Probably.
I don't even know who the guy is.
So the song "Rock and Roll Suicide" is the conclusion of Ziggy Stardust, and basically it's sort of the end of his story arc, and it's a final or his swan song on the Ziggy Stardust album. So you picking this as a beginning is, I don't know, at one time, so it's not that worrying because you explained that we don't need to worry about you. And on the other side, maybe it's fitting because it's about suicide, it's about death, and I think Then Comes Silence has taken very much inspiration from the theme of death. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so and you've been at it for quite a while, several years, and this theme came up already at the beginning. I think even your name refers to it, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah.
correct.
So what was the plan when you started out? Did you think, okay, death is a really big topic, we can make a band out of it, or is there a specific occurrence that inspired you to take this route?
I've always been obsessed by death since childhood, but I think when I started the band in 2012, I wanted to try writing horror music. So I think if you listen to the first album, the debut from 2012, you should feel. Hopefully, you should feel it. There's a touch of horror and how to say. It's not well. It's about death, but it's mostly about the apocalypse and horror. The first album, so that's where it all started. But I skipped the horror thing later and kept death.
So let's talk about making music, and it's great to have all four of you guys here. I just wondered, as a band, what aspect of making music gives you the most energy? I mean, there's a lot of different stuff that you do, right? You know, apart from PR, there's the composing, rehearsing, studio recording, mixing. Performances will be in short supply these days. But you know, what is the thing that gives you the most energy?
Yeah, well, when we played We Fest last year, we shared the backstage with Killing Joke and 66 Sputnik, Martin Degville, and these guys, and that was big. Yeah. That was really, that's like a kid's dream.
Yeah, I can imagine. We just discussed Killing Joke a couple of times in the last two shows, I guess. Yeah. Big one.
Yeah, so Killing Joke, we've noticed that they have been for a long time very good at picking new and upcoming bands to play together with on tours. Many of the bands that they played with are really quite quality bands, even though not all of them became superstars. We noticed that with the bands that we like to play on the show, several of them actually were the support act for Killing Joke at one time in their career. So we figured that Killing Joke were maybe like people that could also have made it as A&R managers back in the day. But we're still happy that they decided to make the music.
So how do you do this now when there's not much of public performance? Do you stay in touch with them or meet? Can you go to bars right now in Stockholm, for instance?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We practice a lot. We try to use this occasion for rehearsing new songs and just experiment a little bit with try stuff. And we did. We have done 3 live streams so far, and I don't know really. We don't really know what next step will be, but we're still, we're keeping. How to say? We're busy. We need to keep it rolling.
Yeah. So you're just working on new material, getting together in the studio sometimes.
Something to look forward to and something to work for, like a upcoming tour or. A new album, etc. But this year we don't have anything really. So we have had to come up with new ideas to make it interesting.
Is it working out for you? Because you just released Machine this year. How did you approach the release of this latest album?
We actually did the release on a small venue here in Stockholm, like the day before the closed down, or it was almost closed down. So it was for many of our friends and people who come and watched us, it was like the last gig they saw before the pandemic. I
can imagine that was quite a change of plans when you've just spent so much time on making an album, and it can't have been a short time because the album is very rich, very detailed, so obviously put a lot of energy and work in it, and then you expect to hit the road and stun everyone with all the stuff that you've come up with, and then you're sort of get called off just at the moment that you want to start. That could be tough. But I understand that you've been able to keep busy and find different ways of working together as a band. You even built your own studio and practice environment. Is that right? So how did that work?
Yeah, we're fortunate to have a carpenter in the band. Matthias is he's the builder, the expert of. Yeah.
So how did you go about that? Or do you have your own space now? Are you living together? How does it work?
Yeah. With a lot of good leadership, it was perfect.
You got gold in your hands when you can actually build something.
So do you guys have enough time to spend on the band? Are you able to dedicate full time to it, or is it something that you have to do?
It's part time for all of us.
Especially now when we don't are being able to tour as much as we used to.
So can you maybe shed some light on it? Just out of my own interest, there's one carpenter and there's 3 other guys. What do you do? What kind of work do you do?
I have to be honest, I don't do carpentry anymore, but I'm a project manager in the building industry. So.
Oh yeah.
and an accountant, but we don't talk so much about that.
I lost my job in early March this year, just when the pandemic started, and I was unemployed for since a month ago. But now I found a job I really like in a bike store. I'm really into bikes, and I always wanted to have a job in a bike store. So now I'm very happy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Bikes are really popular in Sweden, right? I
Yeah.
think, Sweden and the Netherlands are almost like bike capitals of Europe.
Yeah, definitely.
I think,
And you've seen also it's one of since the pandemic, and people don't want to use public transports as much as before. So a lot of people are buying bikes now.
no, I can see that. Okay, cool.
I drive a car, so I hate bikes. And my line of work is painting. I do how to say set decorating at theaters, and I also paint, in hallways, inside buildings. I do. It's called graining. When you make it look like wood,
Like marble.
or make it look like stone, marbling. So that's what I do besides music.
Oh, that's cool. To have this creativity is also very useful for your visual expression, I guess, as a band.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think it helps. Yeah.
I work as freelance when we are in a normal life and we're touring, and I keep doing the same now. Only thing is that I take more work now because I have more time, obviously. And I work for a company that manages musical rights and royalties and songs that are played in advertisement and that stuff. So it's not very creative, but at least it's something related to music. And that's nice.
It will teach you a lot about the way the business side of music works, I guess.
Well, this is the boring part of it.
I can see. So you built a whole studio together. Is it finished now?
Yeah, it's practically finished. You can
Almost.
You can practice. You can record. Yeah. So it's it's in use now.
Cool. So when I have a wife, we have a home. Every now and then we build something, but it's very modest. So we buy something from IKEA, and then we build it. And then usually we are almost ready for a divorce. You've built an entire studio, and you're still together.
Yeah, we are.
What is the secret? But yes, it's great leadership. Okay, yeah, cool. All right. So moving on, I sent a link today. I don't know if you've seen it, to a website. I sent it to Alex's email address after you asked about the link. Did you get a chance to check that out or not?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't have the chance to check it out.
That's okay. So it's the you can look at it later. What actually happened is there is a guy who wrote an algorithm a couple of years ago already, who is analyzing all the data from Spotify, and he's looking at bands and the volume that bands get played, and he's looking at the people playing those bands and then matching. So he's building sort of a link library of people playing certain acts. And it turns into a sort of a map. So you can see, for instance, when you look at Denkom Silence, you can see which bands are really close, and the people that like you are playing some other bands on the same playlist or on the same frequency. And I was quite surprised because I was expecting to see, I don't know, maybe Sisters of Mercy or Killing Joke or something like that as being very close to you. But instead, according to the algorithm and according to the people that love you and that play your music, the thing the thing that comes closest to you is the band Drab Majesty.
I want to hear this.
There is the closest relationship. So I see you nodding and I see you smiling. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
You are okay with Drab Majesty?
Yeah.
Shouldn't we?
Shouldn't. Yeah. I like them. It's a great band. I don't have any issues with that.
You're okay with Drab
Okay
Majesty?
Yeah. Yeah. They
Cool.
played on my old goth club here in Stockholm
Yeah, it's also pretty poppy, but it is. I think it is okay for the build-up of the show because we start out with Bowie, which is quite light, and Dread Majesty is also still quite poppy, and then we sort of descend into the more darker and more goth and more rock territory as we go along. So it looks like we have a nice build-up this way.
Infect me.
So I think you are extremely popular in Germany. Is that right? Because the funny thing is, if you look you guys up on Wikipedia, there's just a German Wikipedia listing for Then Comes Silence. And if I look at your tour schedule, there's like I'm not sure when any of these concerts are going to come through, but out of 10 tour dates, 8 tour dates are in Germany. So there must be something special going on. So how did you become so popular specifically in Germany? What happened?
Hard to say. I don't know. We've been touring quite a lot in Germany.
Yeah. Every time we are on tour, we play half of the tours are in Germany, basically. It just happened to be like that. We'll get to know some people there, and they invite us over again and again. And we have quite a lot of fans, so it's always amazing to play there. So.
It's just you build your fan base there, and every time you do a show, you build up more. Do you actually get some airplay on German radio at all?
I don't know. Probably not, because of our music. It's not really. We're not really mainstream, so I guess radio is not radio anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not like it used to be.
Yeah, where you have to look really hard to find something in the digital area, but not broadcast radio.
So for the previous album, you got signed with a really large label, which published your music internationally, Nuclear Blast. How did you? This is something many of the bands in this genre dream of and never achieve, right? So it's very special that you were able to pull this off. How did you manage it? How did you get picked up by a global label?
I can't really say, but I think they wanted to try something else besides metal. So they signed us back in 2016. And we released the album Blood 2017, but that's the only album we actually worked with them. We moved on to Metropolis and Oblivion for this one. But they were nice to us, and I don't know if it was a great match or anything, but we liked them and they liked us, but I don't know, maybe some of the metal fans are quite conservative. I don't know, it's hard to say.
Yeah, we noticed a bit like yes, they definitely have the muscles to work with music, but most of our fans they didn't find our fans.
Their audience wasn't exactly your audience, I guess. So, and Metropolis is obviously a label that has more acts in your style. Is that helpful?
Yeah, we think so. Yeah. And Oblivion, the German label. We have two labels, one German label and the American label, Metropolis.
So we saw that Glenn of Zymox is also one of your label mates. We're big fans, obviously. Any chance of doing some cooperation there, or joint touring, or is that not something that you've been discussing?
Nothing we have discussed, but yes, we are up to it. If the opportunity comes, we will do it.
You can now tell the labels that fans have asked you to get in touch. You won't be lying. You don't have to tell them there were only 2 fans that asked this. But we're happy to help, right? We'd be great. So, looking at the song that we'll be playing next, we're going to be playing a song from your new album, Machine, which is the reason that we're having this conversation. Machine has been out for only a couple of months. It's still very fresh. It's also an album that sounds very, let's say, varied. It's not as if you're trying to play disco or doing weird stuff, but many bands, especially after a couple of albums, fall into the trap of writing the same song 8 times and then publishing an album. There's a lot of variation on this album. It's very impressive the way that all the songs are in the same sort of atmosphere, but all have their very different characteristics. I think also looking at the reviews, you got many very positive reviews. Is that right? Was there anybody that was not enthusiastic about Machine?
Yeah, there was one Swedish blog that didn't really appreciate the album, but I think it wasn't really his kind of music.
Okay, yeah.
So we have actually forgotten his name and forgotten his blog as well.
No, I can imagine. So it was warmly received, yeah, internationally as well, I think, right?
Yeah,
Is that right?
It was, yeah.
So, how do you write music? How do you work together in writing music? How does the process work?
Well, it usually starts with me, and I make some demos, and I send them frequently around the band, and everyone has their saying. I hope about the music, if it's worth trying, or maybe we should do this, do that. Is it the right tempo? Is it if they like the song, we just continue and start practicing it, and that's the structure we're following.
Who's doing the synthesizers? Who's doing the?
Yeah, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah, I like synthesizers. That was actually my first instrument when I was 14 years old.
So I assume if you like synths, that's all hardware-based synths. No VST plugins, or just a little bit here and there.
No digital software stuff. Nothing from the computers. Everything is old analog. Real stuff. For me, I call it real synthesizers.
Yeah, I agree. So the track that we featured for this podcast is "We Lose the Night." Which one or ones am I hearing there? The lead one that's alongside the guitar.
Which synthesizer?
Yeah, which synthesizer? If you can remember at all.
Yeah, but it could be a guitar, because a lot of guitars on our recordings sound like synthesizers, because we use a lot of effects and chorus, flanger, delay and stuff, and distortion. So sometimes people say they really appreciate that song, blah blah blah, with a lot of synthesizers, and I think like that song doesn't include any synthesizers, but okay, if you say so. So maybe sometimes they mix pretty well, the synthesizers and the guitars, because they're sometimes quite similar sound.
Sometimes also if Alex makes a demo and uses synthesizers, and we really like the sound of that, and then we, instead of just keeping it, we use the guitars and trying to sound something similar or something close to it at least.
You play it on your guitar, you use the multi-effect processor to get somewhere close to the original sound? Or?
Well, we have a bunch of pedals at our array, and we try it out and see what we can get.
Okay. So you don't have anything in your 19-inch rack with digital stuff, you just push the pedals?
Well, I have digital stuff for live, but in the studio we use analog pedals mostly.
So what's the lead guitar you play? You like playing the most? Which one is your favorite?
I've sold that one.
Oh really? Did you get good money, I hope? Or
Wow.
Yeah, I got a shitty guitar instead.
Okay.
But now
nice and punk. Which one?
Okay.
Nowadays I play sheer gold guitar.
Not familiar with them.
Okay, never heard of that one.
It's an old UK guitar manufacturer, and they rebranded it a couple years back, and I got in touch with them, and I got a sponsorship, so it's good that I say this now, that I use that guitar.
Well done.
So should we take the part about the shitty guitar out?
On the album it wasn't that guitar. on the album it was a nice Telecaster, but then I used another guitar for that song, and that guitar was quite shitty.
And Alex, if I may ask, what's the synthesizer you love best?
I try to keep it a secret, which synthesizers I use, but they are old, from the 70s mostly, some from the 80s.
70s even, wow.
Yeah, really so I wanted to keep it a secret, because
okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
then.
because I think there should be some mystery left.
I agree. So We Lose the Night is the song that we're going to be playing next. Actually, this is a song that we've played before on our podcast because we've been following you for a while, also on social media. And when we discovered Then Come Silence, we thought this was, one of the best numbers on the album. It's also, I guess, something that you thought because you used it for an opener. So it's a nice introduction for those listeners that haven't heard your music yet. Is there a special story about We Lose the Night? How did it come into being?
Yeah, it is kind of because it was one of the earliest song when we first made almost a complete album that didn't happen, and We Lose the Night was the only song that we kept to Machine.
Yeah, the lost album. Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, it's there's this secret album in between Blood and Machine, the lost album, and I was wondering. I saw that there were a couple of bonus tracks for Blood added on Spotify. Are those also from those sessions, or?
No, those are earlier from the same period as
right.
Blood. But yeah.
And this, so is this by design? Now that your fans are going to be, trying to find this mysterious lost album for years, and build.
No,
we're
never gonna find it. No, it's been burned and wrecked. So yeah, okay. I don't even remember anything of it. The only song left is We Lose the Night.
So this song, We Lose the Night, is the only survivor of this mysterious missing album. Yeah. So let's...
we might use some riffs in the future. Some riff I still remember from that album. Yeah, and maybe some drum parts.
Yeah.
So some of the riffs may come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's listen to We Lose the Night by Then Come Silence from their great new album, Machine. I have to be honest. This is one of the songs that it's sort of there's a Dutch word for it, which is going to be useless to. There's an earworm is sort of the translation for it. It's like a song that gets in your head and you can't get it out anymore. This song definitely has that quality. I can have this song popping up in my head 3 days after I've listened to it, and I've listened to a zillion other songs, but this one is somehow keeps coming back. It's a very, I think it's a good quality for a song, although it's kind of irritating sometimes. It's like, there's that song again. Okay.
Still, I could swear I hear some synthesizers in the back with like a chorus sound, but it's not.
Yeah, but there is a synthesizer somewhere in the back. There's a rhythm together with the drums. Yeah,
okay.
It's in the background. Yeah, and probably some pad synths as well. Probably. I don't remember.
No, that's an honest answer. I can imagine, but it sounds like there's a choir going on in the back alongside those guitars. I love it, but anyway, doesn't matter which instrument it is.
I think this is the curse of being a musician or having made music, is that you always have this sort of voice in the back trying to analyze what's going on and what it is that you're hearing, right?
Yes.
It's funny. It works the same way with going to restaurants, because my wife used to be a restaurant manager. I can never have a normal dinner with her, nice and romantic and quiet in a restaurant, because she'll always be analyzing which waiter is doing which part and if it's a logical way to organize it and who is doing their job properly and who is really not fit for the job, right? And we just want to. So I guess in the end, it works the same way with music and musicians. They're always trying to figure out, is that a Telecaster I'm hearing or is it a Stratocaster? And what sort of effects is he using? And is that a real synth, or is it analog, or is it just one of those processed VST plugins? I don't know. It's always these things that you keep hearing.
Yeah, but it's that's absolutely true. I used to have some synthesizers, sold them. I had a Nord Modular, Nord Lead, cheaper Roland things, but it's just about the talent, because I couldn't get anything out of it that was worth listening to. Spend a lot of money, so it doesn't really matter how expensive it is. It's just what you can get out of it.
Govaert's being modest. Actually, some of his songs have been featured in national magazines as being very, very worthwhile.
That's right. Just
but yeah, well.
Back in 2000.
No,
anyway.
I'm a bass player, but I bought my first bass when I was still a student, and I had to loan the entire amount to be able to buy it. And it was a Fender, but one from the cheaper period when they were producing in Japan. And I found out that the interest every month was the only thing I could afford, so I never actually paid the thing for years. I just kept paying only the interest every month in order to be able. But I still have it, and I still love playing it. It's a
quality instrument, my friend.
Fender Precision bass.
Japanese Fenders.
Yeah.
So we tried to find some links, obviously, with the music that you guys make, and also stuff that you're interested in. And there's just one track I've been listening to for quite a while by this band, and I didn't make the connection, but they turned out to be Swedish as well. So I thought it was nice to give them some stage in this podcast episode as well. It's different than what you guys do, but it's still within, I think, the post-punk realm. It's high energy. They got a lot of, I think...
They're a little bit more from the indie scene, I think.
Indie, yeah.
Indie scene, indie scene maybe more fitting as a label. But it's more, it's like energetic songs. The lyrics are quite bleak. It's about people and the humanity, and humanity sucks, and quite depressing. But the energy is so high. But it's a really kick-ass track that gives me some goosebumps. So we'll put it into the podcast of it this week.
So do a proper announcement, man. Come on.
I couldn't find that much. That's the thing with young bands. Now we can actually talk to one of the hotter guys. But these bands that you cannot find that much if you go online. It's just maybe a Wikipedia page or a Bandcamp page with 3 lines. So I couldn't find out much about them. I believe it's 5 people. They've been active for 10 years. They're from Gothenburg. That's it, basically.
So this is their song Comfort.
Yes, let the music.
And what's the way to pronounce the band name again? So let us see if we can get away with the Swedish word.
Makthaverskan.
So this is Macht Haverskan with Comfort.
Yeah, that's correct.
So at least we have we didn't completely fail the announcement. That's good. Just one question, because I looked at Macht Haverskan, and the word apparently means sort of a really cool, sort of muscly, macho kind of a guy. Is that right?
No, it's more. How do you?
Like a powerful woman.
Oh, it's a powerful woman. Okay.
The opposite of an alpha male.
Okay, so it's an alpha woman.
Yeah.
You can say that. Alpha woman.
Yes, just
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
one letter
that
difference,
is-
I believe.
Yeah, a powerful woman.
A powerful. Okay. Because I was trying to figure out why they were calling themselves
Woman in power.
powerful guy when there's two women in the band, but that explains a lot, I guess. So we're going to be listening to another suggestion from our friends of Then Comes Silence in a couple of minutes. A Swedish band called Cortex that I had never heard of. But they are, as I understand, a legendary band in the musical history of Sweden. Is that right? Can you give us some background on Cortex and their role in the Swedish scene?
Known in Sweden, but they are definitely legendary if you're into post-punk or Swedish punk. Yeah. And I've been a fan since a long time ago, but they released 2 albums in the 80s, and this song we chose is one from them.
Yeah, quite recent sounding. Also production-wise.
Yeah.
So this is from the album Spinal Injuries, which is on Spotify together with a bunch of outtakes from other EPs, I guess, that they did. And this is actually from 1981, so very, very early in the post-punk scene. But it sounds almost more modern than that. Yeah, so I guess they were really way ahead of their time. You know, many of the tracks from this age we love, but they don't sound so great. And this is actually sounds like it was very deliberately, recorded in decent quality. So were they already very popular, or did they sign with a major label, or were they well known in Sweden,
not at all.
or were they just great engineers?
They were like a very small do-it-yourself band, underground that played on small clubs. They had a small label that only had other similar small bands like them, and but there were a lot of great post-punk bands from the 80s in Sweden, so it was like a wave of cool bands.
And they also came from Gothenburg, because I think Gothenburg used to be the rock capital of Sweden, in my opinion. And also the lead singer from Cortex, he had his own career afterwards, Freddy Wadling. So he's more famous as a solo artist than this lead singer of Cortex. Yeah. So if you ask some Swede on the street, he probably knows about Freddy Wadling, because he was famous. He passed away 4 years ago.
So the name Cortex won't mean much on the streets, but his name will be known.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
There's someone in my mind that I don't understand. There's someone in my mind that I don't want to know. It goes to my head, it goes to my mind, it goes to my soul, it goes
So you've been doing your own production from this for this last album, Machine, as well. I understand that Alex, you were the lead producer for this album.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Are you being modest, or?
I wanted to take control.
Oh, you wanted to take control. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it has a really big sound, and Blood was a big budget production. But somehow this album, production-wise, sounds, in my opinion, better than Blood. So you being a first-time producer, how did that process work? How did you prepare for that? And how did you pull it off to make it sound the way it does?
I think the work with Blood was a very good school. I think we learned quite a lot when we recorded it. Also, we learned how to make a budget, how to stay inside the frame of the budget, and not step outside the frame, because it hurts, financially. So I think we learned quite a lot in many ways. And when we started recording Machine, before that we practiced quite a lot, like for a year or something, the four of us. And so we were very well prepared when we started recording the drums and afterwards the guitars and all that. So I think we were very prepared. So maybe that's why, I don't know, maybe it sounds good. Maybe that's why, yeah.
And also, the first two albums is also Alex was the producer and everything, so it wasn't his first time as a producer, and he also had his own small label some years back, and did produce other bands and such. So he's been in the business before.
That explains a lot, because it doesn't sound like somebody's first try. Somebody's first shot at producing.
No, it was not the first try. No, I've been recording a lot of mostly shoegaze bands, indie punk bands, and stuff like that.
So what are two of the bands that you've produced over the years, probably from Sweden, and that you think we should feature in our show at some point? Give us some tips.
Yeah, I used to own a small label, an indie label, so I recorded a lot of stuff from that label. Of course, I was like, doing everything. So there's a band called Sad Day for Puppets, a band that used to tour a lot as well with that, and I also played the bass in that band because they needed a bass player, so I stepped in there. So
producing, bass playing, it's all part of the package.
A lot. But the only thing I didn't do, I didn't write the music in that band.
So they're called Sad Day for Puppets?
Sad Day for Puppets, yeah. We played in Amsterdam once at the Paradise. I don't know, is it called Paradise? Yeah. El Paraíso? Paradise? Yeah.
So Machine...
But that's kind of shoegazy thing.
Oh, we like shoegaze as well. We know we don't do boundaries very well either with our show. Sometimes we have discussions about what is and what isn't supposed to be part of the Infected, but we don't try to... we don't.
If you do shoegaze, I think that's really difficult, right? Because there's a tendency that everything may be one goo of sound, like the vacuum sound, and then still keep the clarity in there.
Yeah, but it was hard nut when I recorded that kind of music. It's fun, but it's also chaotic.
So if you look at the way that you've done Machine, you've worked together with Stefan Glaumann, who's a very well-known recording and producing and mixing specialist, let's put it that way. How did that happen, and how did your cooperation with him work?
It was actually the guy who produced Blood. His name is Tom van Hesch. He's actually his ancestors are Dutch, and he recommended Stefan Glaumann for this album. He told me that you should work with Stefan Glaumann, and I think we all like, yeah, of course. So me and Matthias, we went home to Stefan and had a chit chat and a coffee and talking about music and about Then Comes Silence and all that, and he liked what he heard, so he wanted to work with this album. So I think he was the right choice from the start.
And did you make your own mix while you were recording? And did you then hand over the tapes, or how did that work?
No. I think I made some like a demo mix just to show him a little bit what the idea is. No, but he everything. How to say? He was the he had the last saying of everything.
Yeah. Okay. And did some things come back in a way that surprised you? That sounded quite different, or was it along the lines of what you expected?
Yeah, I think we all kind of got a little bit surprised, and then we got used to it because he kept sending mixes after mixes. So during I think from February to May or something, so it was a very long time span. So I think we got used to the sound. I think in the beginning we were like, I think especially you, Jonas, you had some thoughts about the drums and the sound of the drums. But it's well, you know, Stefan, he's mastermind, and but he also listens to what you have to say. So he's not a dictator. So I think we kind of work really well together.
We're very happy with the results. So
cool.
Yeah.
So let's listen to the result of what you did together. And we're going to be listening to another song from the album Machine, and this is a song called Dark End.
It comes
Yeah, I'm listening to it. But let me stop, because otherwise it'll be awkward silence. We're used to doing...
Yeah. We're just sitting here silent, nodding our head. Must be boring for you guys. I'm sorry.
No. It's
I was totally rocking out to that song. Yeah, I really like it. So that was Dark End from the album Machine by Then Comes Silence. And you should go and check out their new video, which is just out. You can find it on YouTube. It's great. You need to watch it. I'm going to have to take your word for it, but we'll definitely tell everybody it's great. I'll look it up later tonight.
It's looking awesome. And also expensive, this clip.
You're watching it?
Yeah, I'm just checking it out right now. Yeah. Really clean and nice.
Clean?
Yeah. It's like production-wise. Okay. I'll send it over.
How did you record the video?
Yeah, it's a great director. We have to give him all the credits. Damon Suravsky, that's the name of the director who made. He is also the guy who made the video of Apocalypse Flare.
I've seen that one
back in February. Yeah,
and he also been the producer for the video producer for the live streams.
Okay, so he's almost like sort of half of an extra band member. If you look at it that way.
That.
Yeah.
The fifth member.
Yeah. This is also a good thing to have, right? This is sort of mysterious extra band member who's sort of part of the band. It's always a good story. But visual identity is quite important for Then Comes Silence, I think. At least it looks like you put a lot of thought and attention into it. Also, the mask on Machine is a theme that you've been bringing back in several different ways. Even as something to save lives from infection in the form of a mask, but literally to cover your face. How is this? How does this visual identity come into being? Is that something that is part of your expertise, Alex, or do you hire artists to do this?
No, it's coming from the band. It's mostly me and Jonas who work with the artwork and all that. So I don't think we ever have. Oh yeah, the first album, the cover of the first album was somebody else who made it. Yeah.
You like to do stuff yourself, right?
Oh yeah. I keep painting and drawing all the time, so why not use it for the band as well? But it's actually a guy called DK Griftegard who's doing all the artwork. So it's that's the alias of how do you say? I use that name when I draw.
So about the music scene, we've played another Swedish band already. Actually, we've played two, one from '81 and one band that is still active. What is the music scene like in Stockholm these days? Are you able to beat Gothenburg?
Yes.
Yes, I can say that. Yeah, when I was talking about Gothenburg, that was in the past. So we're talking about I would say contemporary music. I think Stockholm rules.
There's still a lot of great bands that still plays and come from southern Sweden, Gothenburg and Malmö and such, but there isn't a lot of good places to actually play there, and like clubs and venues and etc. So it's basically Stockholm nowadays. But even in Stockholm, we have a lot of great bands and quite a large and tight community for goth and synth and post-punk that are meeting up, and we are like friends, like a big family here, almost. And
sounds like died out a bit.
Yeah, venue-wise, like a way to
Yes, sadly, it's sleeping right now, because I grew up with all the Gothenburg bands like Union Carbide, Leather Nun, Silver Bullet, and they were all amazing. But nothing happened in like 10 years, so I don't know. Besides from this guy Håkan, who's very famous in Sweden. Yeah, but you don't know about him. But he's famous. He's very famous. But he's from Gothenburg.
Gothenburg, first 4 letters, Goth. You would imagine that there would be much more going on, but no. It's Stockholm these days.
These days, it's Stockholm. I should say that.
So let's assume that our listeners are lucky enough to be able to visit Stockholm somewhere next year,
Yeah, hopefully.
when this whole tragedy is over and venues are open again. Where should our dear listeners go? What is the right venue to visit when in Stockholm?
Well, hopefully we have at least a couple of them left next year. But I think, the Baser will still exist. Slagkyrkan will probably still exist, and then we have this club that Jonas used to work for before, called the Club Död. But they organize shows in different locations, in different venues, and there's another one called Dark Park. So I think hopefully it's we're keeping it alive until next year.
In Stockholm, it's I don't think anyone has their own venue, to only make their own thing. Like you have to, all the clubs have to rent venues basically, in some way or another. Some venues has bookers, and that bookers some bookers are actually quite good and listen to our kind of music, stuff like that. But a lot of the clubs just move around in case of to different locations.
Yeah, it's harder these days. This is one of the great things about the 80s, which was the end of the industrial age. We had these empty buildings everywhere, empty factories, and that was usually a place where you could go as a band, or you could start house parties, or you could, I think the whole Manchester scene appeared from
The
empty
Hacienda.
factories. The Hacienda, yeah, the factory itself. These days we don't have that sort of luxury, that there's a lot of space for young bands to go and practice and trash everything and be extreme, right? Because if you're renting a place, you need to be able to return it semi-intact to the owner. So I guess there's less room for creativity, and it's more expensive to start out. But at least you've made that step. I don't think you have an issue getting booked in Stockholm. And let's hope that you'll be able to play to your home crowd at least somewhere in the next couple of months. That would be great. So we've been discussing Machine, your new album. If anybody's listening to this podcast and hasn't checked it out yet, make a note now, write on a piece of paper, I shall listen to Machine, by then comes silence, because it's totally worthwhile. And apart from this album, what are the things that are on your current playlist? Let's say that we put you 4 guys in a tour bus in a month, and you can all make a contribution to the playlist that will be in the car or the tour bus. Which one band would each of you put on there? Or album?
For me at the moment, I really like Ist from America, I think, or maybe Canada. I'm not sure actually, but Ist is the name. I think there are 4 guys. They're brilliant, and also a band that's called Abonine from Malmö, maybe Sweden, or maybe Gothenburg. I'm not sure, but that just released a new record, and they're both great.
All right, Matthias, what would you put on the playlist?
I'm like deep down in Meshuggah haze, so it would be probably a Meshuggah, but I'm trying to fight myself out of it.
That's okay.
So it's a little bit heavier.
A recovering Meshuggah addict.
It's a little bit heavier than Jonas' selection of songs. So
Yeah.
It will be Meshuggah. Yeah.
Okay.
Bowie. I'm sticking to Bowie.
That kind of figures.
No, but
which album would you put in this in this case?
no, but I think I will definitely when we finally take a seat in the van and start rolling down the motorway. I think the first song that comes to my mind is Station to Station, just to like continue where we stop. How to say it? To where we left off last time. So yeah,
To pick it up from there. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay.
I don't choose to play music in the band. I don't know. They don't choose to ask me what I want to listen in the band. Now everyone can know that. But anyway, I will play like something old, like The Clash or Ramones or something like that. So it's not really original. So maybe they don't like.
But it's great.
No, but Ramones is that's works so good.
Cool. This is a playlist we're going to have to put together for the people that are waiting for you to start touring again. They can already get in the mood listening to this very specific selection, which crosses the complete time of the last 40 years. Lots of inspiration there.
We should. And guys, to wrap it up, I think it was very interesting talking to you all, and thanks for joining us, all four of you. And also thanks to our listeners for tuning in to The Infected again. And if you liked it, please subscribe on Spotify or iTunes to never miss our new episodes ever again. Or get in touch through our website, that is theinfected.nl, where you can also find all the info we discussed, also from previous episodes, several pre-mixed shows without any talking in between. And then, of course, we have merchandise available on our website. So get your Snuggie hoodie or a washable and adjustable face mask while you can. And if free shipping sounds good, use the discount code INFECTME for free shipping. So we will resume season 3 of our podcast shortly. For now, let's pour ourselves a nice glass of whiskey, disconnect our microphones, and float into the night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye. Take care.